Three Wise Queens, written by James Allen, illustrated by Andras Balog, music by Michael Dodderman, narrated by Mary Tony. Queen Hekima raced up the tower to paint her beautiful sky. She loved watching the stars and painted them every night. Just as Hekima finished setting out her art supplies, she heard voices singing the most beautiful song she had ever heard. The singing was coming from some high place far away. When the singing ended, a brilliant star appeared in the sky, shining brighter than even the moon. The star filled her with joy. It twinkled with a color that warmed the cold night. She called for her husband, King Balthazar, to come see the star. "This is a miracle," he exclaimed. "This star was foretold in a prophecy. It is the sign that a great king has been born." They knew they must follow the star to find the baby king. Along the way, they would visit other kings and queens who would know more about the meaning of the star and the baby king. However, they could not decide on the gift they should bring. Off in the distance, a lion roared loudly. "That's it," cried Balthazar. "Let us give him a lion. The lion is the king of all animals. His mighty roar fills the night with noise, just as this mighty king's star filled the night with light." Queen Hekima thought about this and said, "While a lion would be a mighty gift for other kings, this may be a very different king. He might not have the building or people to care for a lion. I think the best gift to give is gold." "Gold?" asked Balthazar. "I'm sure the king has plenty of gold." Hekima continued her thoughts. "Look at his bright star. I think it is a sign that his riches are in heaven and not on earth. Maybe he will need gold to buy food or a place to sleep." "My dear queen," Balthazar said, "I have never imagined a king like the one you described, but you are wise. Gold is an excellent gift." The next day they started their journey. They traveled across great stretches of sand and then great stretches of water. After many days, they came to the top of a hill and saw the famous library of King Caspar and Queen Sophia. The king and queen loved books so much that they made the library the biggest building in the kingdom. King Caspar and Queen Sophia ran out to greet them, papers flying out of their robes and scrolls unrolling in a trail behind them. "King Balthazar, Queen Hekima," they shouted, "you have seen the star." They entered the library, and King Caspar began telling them all that he and Sophia had read about the prophecy. "It is written that a ruler will be born in Bethlehem, and that he will be the shepherd of the people of Israel." Balthazar gasped. "I almost gave a lion to a shepherd. Good thing Hekima convinced me to give him gold instead." Caspar laughed and added, "I have also been thinking about a gift. I plan to give him my crown." Queen Sophia was proud of her husband's idea. "My king, it would be very generous to give the new king your crown, since it means a great deal to you. But think of all the prophecies we have read about this child. He already has the weight of the world on his shoulders. I do not think you should add your heavy crown to his burden." "I have read about something which would make a good gift for the baby king," said Queen Sophia as she opened a scroll and ran her finger over the paper. "Frankincense. Frankincense is a valuable spice, and it gives off a delightful scent when burned. The people of Israel, the baby's people, use it when they worship God. his mother can use the frankincense when he is blessed at the temple. Sophia, you have found the answer. Frankincense is a divine gift, agreed Casper. The kings and queens packed up their camels and headed to meet King Melchior and Queen Mingzhi, who were older and would know much more about the prophecy. The journey took them over tall mountains and through cold rivers. After many days of travel across endless fields of grass, they reached King Melchior's kingdom. Soon, the friends were admiring the lush gardens of Queen Mingzhi. The gardens were filled with colorful flowers and blooming trees from all over the world. They passed a cherry tree, and it sprang to life, shaking and speaking, "Welcome, kings and queens." King Casper jumped in surprise. "A talking tree?" "Not exactly," laughed Queen Mingzhi, as she appeared out of the cherry blossoms. "I fear my blossoms have hidden me from your sight." "I am happy you are here," she continued. "Melchior and I have been expecting you." She took them to the courtyard garden of the castle. King Melchior greeted them and told them more about the prophecies. The star means the King of Kings has been born, the King who will bring peace to all people. In all my many years, I never dreamed such a miracle would take place. "Have you heard the beautiful words used in the prophecies?" asked Queen Mingzhi. "They warm my soul. My favorites are Wonderful Counselor, the Prince of Peace, and Emmanuel, which means God with us." They all sat quietly, thinking about those beautiful words. Then Melchior stood up and walked over to a large screen. "I want to give the King of Kings the finest gift I can build." And pushing open the screen, he continued, "I will build him a throne worthy of his heavenly glory, a throne covered with precious jewels, shining like the stars in the sky on the night he was born. This is the model. The actual throne will be 3 times this size and will have many more jewels." "My dear king, while this throne is the most beautiful of all your creations, it will take many months to build, and we want to visit the newborn king immediately. We do not know how many more days the star will shine to show us the way to Bethlehem." Mingzhi thoughtfully said, "I have spoken with the others about their gifts. Hekima and Balthazar will give the baby gold, and Sophia and Casper will give him frankincense. I think we should give him myrrh. Our kingdom is one of the few places that has this type of tree that produces myrrh. Myrrh and frankincense are gifts for a lifetime. Frankincense is used in a ceremony at the beginning of life. Myrrh is used in a ceremony at its end." "Dear Mingzhi, your idea is wonderful. Myrrh is the gift we will give," agreed Melchior. The kings and queens set out and traveled west for many days. As they entered the town of Bethlehem, the star was directly above them. King Balthazar knew they had arrived, but it did not seem possible. Where in this little town was a building fit for a king? "There he is," Queen Hekima cried. She jumped off her camel and ran. At first, King Balthazar thought she was headed toward the inn at the end of the street, but she turned instead into the stable that was next to it. Inside the stable were a donkey, an ox, sheep, and a man and woman huddled over a manger filled with hay. The other queens rushed in behind her. They gathered around the manger to gaze at the baby and hugged his mother tightly as if she were a long-lost sister. The kings looked at one another in surprise. Finally, King Melchior laughed. "None of the prophecies has prepared me for this. This king has no crown, no throne, and not even a proper home. In fact, it appears that he was born in a stable among the cows and sheep." The kings entered the stable and met the man whose name was Joseph and the woman whose name was Mary. They knelt down beside the sleeping baby, whose name was Jesus, and worshiped him. They presented Mary with the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. She loved the gifts and said she would cherish them in her heart always. When Jesus woke, Mary invited the queens to meet him. Queen Hekima was first. Tears streamed down her face. "I thought I would never see anything as beautiful as the star that filled the sky the night he was born. That star filled my heart with joy, but nothing compares to the joy I feel when I look at this bright baby." Queen Sophia knelt down and put her finger in little Jesus' palm, and his fingers wrapped around it. "I cannot believe it. I have read all that has been written about this baby, and now here he is. The words have been made flesh. They have come to life here in Jesus." Finally, it was Queen Mingzhi's turn. "Hello, Emmanuel. Here you are, God with us, under your beautiful star." She gave him a flower from her garden, which she had tucked up her sleeve. "Oh, my little seed," she whispered, "you are so small now, but you will take root in this world and grow and change it forever."